Greetings, Rastafari. Greetings, greetings. Okay, get a good look at that. Last Negus, 225th monarch of the Solomonic line. See that? I got this book when I was in Ethiopia, and it was a huge discovery for me. Understand that I'm not really in Ethiopia. I mean, I'm not Ethiopian. I'm American. My family is from Jamaica, and it just so happens I do have locks, but I never grew locks to be a Rastafarian or practice Rastafarianism, or even because of reggae. It was never like that. Just it's always something in me, and that felt that I had to have long hair, and that's all that it was. I never attached it to anything other than at the time it was fashionable, and it was a reason for me to grow it. And this was back in '93. So I got locks, so I get hailed up, and I do respect, of course, obviously that's why I'm showing this video. There's no disrespect in this. So, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to think that I'm here trying to I'm an amateur, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm an amateur, and I just, this is my own experiences. So I could be wrong, I might be right. I'm not here to say I'm wrong, I'm not right. I'm just spreading some light on some truth. I'm spreading some light on the Rastafarianism, and what's there that should be known if we're practicing it. And again, I do practice some things that I learned from Rastafarianism, like eating, believe it or not, and even my music. I don't play no nonsense music. I don't like cursing and all that nonsense. You see what they're doing with Bill Cosby and Cardi B and all that nonsense, and they're bigging up all that, and they're tearing it. As they big it up, they tear it down, and they're doing whatever they want, the boule, whatever. They've clearly sacrificed the American black public to whatever it is that they're getting, and Bill Cosby must be one of them. I'm sorry for that, but it's clear there's some lying going on, and it doesn't take him that long when the man is about to buy NBC or whatever and come out with his own series again. It was probably something that was going to unite black people. It doesn't matter if he's somewhat of a criminal, and I'm sure he comes on to women. Of course, he's not an angel, but I think some of the charges are definitely. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that, so forget that. I just realized I'm getting off the subject. Point is, just here to shed light, because I think we're getting lost. And I've known about this for years now, this title, and a lot of Rastafarians don't know this, and I feel like they should. It's a tool. You should know that Haile Selassie is the 225th. See this? The last Negus, 225th monarch of the Solomonic line, state portrait on the occasion of the emperor's 80th birthday, 1972, Addis Ababa. So, yeah, my last video was proving that he was, not proving, but spreading some light on the idea that he more than likely is lived and is still alive. And to the people who, think I'm crazy, that's fine, think I'm crazy. But I was shown something, and I feel like I gotta share it. And it's not as simple as just saying it, it's a lot to it. But again, back to these pictures that, I had this picture I found in a Art Deco book of Africa, and it was a 4 priests of Ethiopia, and this is just one of them. And I just looked at this picture and I knew that was Haile Selassie. Now again, I'm not a hardcore Rastafarian. I'm a bit of I like history, and I'm a scientist, and I get into this stuff. So my influences lead me to these things, and I read the biography, and it's deep what happened, what they did, what Mussolini did to Ethiopia, and we know nothing about it. We know everything there is to know about Hitler and the Jews and the Holocaust. But Mussolini did a hell of a lot worse to the Ethiopians, and poisoning of the rivers and everything was a low blow, and it's still a low blow. But hey, you know what? There's nothing we could do because they own history and we don't. And at the same time, we don't even come together. So that's another story. So point is that in this picture I was showing that he clearly has a dimple here. There's a dimple here. And this dimple is actually the exact same dimple that's here. You don't see it right now because he's a little heavier here. This is when he was in office. This is when he was not in office. In office, not in office. You get it? So he's got the same crease line. You see that crease line? It's the same exact thing. It's this right here. It's this. And it even has this line here too. It's the same thing. Same shape. That's how today's computers with face recognition do. They measure all these little things like that. That's why the computers are essentially artists, because they look at everything and they mimic it. And that's what I do. I'm an artist, so I look at these details and I notice something, and when I notice a pattern, I go at it and I see it over and over again. And you see that dimple right there? You see that? That line right there? That's the same line that's right here. And I'm sorry that these pictures are pixelized and I can't show them any better, but I'm not here to deceive you. I'm just here to show you that, we're being lied to, and that I think what's going on in the world today, it's we're not supposed to worry about it in such a way. If you get right with the spirit, you're going to live beyond all this stuff somehow or another. And I'm not saying I got right with the spirit. I got my own workings to do, and I'm doing my best to do it. But of course I fail, especially when you're by yourself. Every man should have a woman, and a good woman, and every woman should have a righteous man. And it's not working out like that these days. Most people rather have a phone, or most people think they have a better relationship with their cell phone than they do a human being. But anyway, that's another story. So yeah, just look at those pictures a little closer, because I'm going to show something else, because I came across these pictures like this because I'm an artist. And even with the flat earth thing, I notice things, and when you notice things, you catalog it, you put it in your mind, and maybe it's just me, but most of us do it like that. So when I was coming from India to America, I noticed that the sun wasn't setting. Correct. Well, it seemed to me the sun seemed to be half set for 2 hours in the sky, and I couldn't understand how that could be. And I'd figured out that, when I came later on, a couple of years later, to this flat earth idea, that it fixed what I couldn't understand then, because I understood what the flat earthers were talking about. And I think I understood the flat earth thing because again, I'm an artist, and when you understand light, shadow, you see that shadow right here? See the shadow that the markers made? When you understand that, you understand how to draw. You understand how to make things look lifelike and not. You understand how, if the light source is close or far away, you understand these things. And when the flat earthers were pointing out certain details about how the sun works and how it cannot work on a ball, you start to see the truth of it. And that's all I'll leave it at. You got to look at it in a different way. I don't know if the earth is totally flat, but again, how do you get water to the curve? How does the North Star stay north? How do we still how is it we're still looking at the same astrological, what am I trying to say? The stars, the Leo, Virgo, all those. We're still looking at the same star configuration that the ancients were looking at, and it hasn't changed. I mean, even science says they've changed a degree because of the Earth's tilt. Excuse my language, but bull. No, I'm not. I gotta watch my mouth. I can't curse around. Can't curse around this stuff, man. You gotta be careful. And people should know that in Ethiopia, when the Ethiopians wear these crosses, they wear these crosses around their necks, close. Really close, like almost tight, like a choker, as if to make the cross cover their throat. And I'm starting to wonder now, maybe if that's just not it. Maybe there's really something else. Maybe there's a frequency when your voice goes through this. It does something. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. All I know is that what I found is because of my own imagination with it, because I started looking at it in a certain way, and I found that, look, it's not my imagination, that there is something here, that there is, some of these things do represent maybe a flat earth of some kind, or maybe it's saying that we do have 4 major rivers, and that, maybe Mount Miro is in the middle, like it says right here. I don't know. I'd like to know what this inscription says, though. I wouldn't be surprised if it's definitely religious, but keep in mind here also that if you look right here, there's a... Here, I'll put it down, actually. If you look right here, there's a lion's head, a side profile of a lion's head. Here's the teeth right here and the snout. You see it? It's teeth right here and the snout, and that's the pyramid. It's a side profile. So all this seeing, there's a man here holding what it could be, who knows what. Maybe he's in control. But I think, to me, this is representing a flat earth. And again, this is Ethiopian cross. It's not old. It's about 10 years old this cross was made, but it's made in the design of the ancient ways, and it's still even made in the ancient ways. This is not a mold. This is handmade, so they're definitely individual. So this may even be a turtle, too. I don't know. Anyway, no, it's definitely a lion, but anyway. If you understand anything about the Ethiopians, they were lion tamers. They got their lions from the Maasai, is what I remember reading. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I remember reading, if it hasn't changed, that they got their lions. They had a relationship with the Maasai, and that may be where we get the word Messiah. Keep in mind. But again, the lion thing is, I'm going to point out in a second. But you see here another cross that to me doesn't just look like a cross. It may be representing something else. And see those 4 dots there in the middle? So to get to the other part, what I have found, because the last few videos I thought it was almost a little crazy that I was saying that, you know, maybe this represents Earth and maybe this represents a flat Earth and something else or something else. And come to find that I wasn't really crazy. And I'm going to show you in a second. Like this one, I'm not sure what this one represents. It could represent a flower or something, but I'm not sure what it looks like. But I'm trying to see what it, some could say it even looks like an alien. But I don't know what it really represents, so I don't know. But again, it's the Ethiopian cross. But now, what I found just kind of blew my mind, because I guess I kind of knew it. No, I'm not going to say I kind of knew it. There's something just kept making me... But if you look, what you got here is... you got lion's face. And if you could adjust your face, your eyes... This is how almost I saw it. The backdrop was green, and I was just looking at it while I was smoking. That's right, I was smoking my ganja, and I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden I just saw a lion's face. And if you look, just adjust it. I'm going to show you in a moment, but I want you to just kind of look at it for a moment. Lion, see the lion's face? His mouth is open, his eyes is open. See it? Alright, so I hope you got a good look at it. So I'm not going to do that again. So again, what you're looking at is not just a religious cross. It's not just religion. It's not just a cross, a man dying on, which again, I don't believe Yahshua, a man of God, was caught by men. I don't believe any man that is of God in such a way can get caught by men. And like him, he disappeared in St. Stephen, and they never found him. St. Stephen, you see that? Stephen, through the 7th, was killed, was stoned to death. He was the 7th, the 7th to be, you should pay attention to that. Anyway, what you're looking at is a lion's face. See the eyes here? And you see the snout? This is the snout, and this is the mouth, open. Now you see I'm not crazy, because here's a crown. See that? So I know I'm not crazy. I know it. And here it is. It's been revealed. And I don't know. I've never seen anyone ever say it like this. But now I know, like even most of these crosses, the one I see the most is some of the hardcore Rastafarian. They wear this one. And I think now that this one's a tree. That may be a tree of life. It's not a cross, but actually a tree. Literally a tree, you know. See a tree? A tree. I think it represents a tree, not a cross. What in a sense could be a cross too. But